What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So I'm back with another video for you guys. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about the female loneliness epidemic. So there is such a thing. There are a lot of women out here who are claiming that they are lonely, and they're looking for their person. Now, I find it kind of interesting because while two things could be true at the same time. There are a lot of women who are crying and wondering why they're still single at 30 years old and don't have any kids, and then there's others who brag about being single and not caring about a man. So there are lots of different variations of what people are looking for out here, and many different experiences and many different talking points. But because we live in a day and an age where we have so many independent boss chicks who say they don't need a man, they don't need them. They can do it all bad all by themselves. We hear a lot of that. But there are amongst that, there are still some women who are still saying they still want somebody, though. And they didn't think that it would be this hard to find a person. Even though they said they didn't want one, deep down inside, they still want one. So I want to get into this video that I have, just kind of addressing it a little bit. I want to know your thoughts on this whole this lonely epidemic, this female loneliness epidemic that's going around a lot of women. I said, it's winter is here. I said it before. Every year it's the same old same. Around this time, the holidays brings out the loneliness. It brings out the bitter, lonely women who don't have anybody. Family and intimacy and companionship seems to be more important around these times for whatever reason. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It's free to subscribe, share and like the video, and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Here we go.
No one is teaching you the lifestyle you have to have while married, and that's why people are so quick to want to get the ring and don't care about the lifestyle. That's why more people have weddings and less people have marriages. From my personal opinion, women are definitely desperate for relationships, romantic relationships, I should say. I know y'all don't want to hear this. There is a married woman out there that knows her husband's tendencies and behaviors. There are women that know that man is a pervert. That man is doing something he shouldn't be doing, and they look past it because at least they can say they're with somebody. At least they can say they have a man. Why is it an insult to say to a woman, that's why you're single, that's why you don't have a man, that's why you're not married? But it's never the same insult for a man. When you insult a man, you say that's why you don't get no. Oh, okay. There's a video floating around in Houston of a decorator that decorated a hotel room for a man that was having his 12th year anniversary with his wife. As she's recording the room, the husband is asking her for schmecks for $200, and she's repeatedly telling him no. And he's like, what people don't know don't hurt. And guess who came to his defense even after hearing that audio? The wife. And she posted a video where you can hear the conversation with the wife, and the wife is like, what was offensive? And it's like, girl, I don't have to draw it out. You're defending that because that's who he is. And
yeah, but this is why I say too, just to chime in really quickly, you can't judge from the outside looking in. This is why I say too, women know who they're dealing with. This is why I say women know who they're dealing with. And a lot of times, people on the outside looking in don't understand the dynamics of the relationship. This is why it's not always good to comment or be so staunch about somebody else's relationship, because you don't know the ins and outs. That could have been their agreement. Their agreement could be, hey, you get to enjoy what you like because I know that's what you like, and I get to enjoy what I like. There are trade-offs. There are things that you accept within a person, and there are things that that you won't accept. You just have to figure out what it is that's acceptable for you in the relationship and the dynamics of the relationship that you create. This is why I say every marriage, there is no standard for what a marriage should be. That is based on you and the person that you're with. The two of you create the dynamics of your relationship. And I think that's something that people forget. They have this idea of what a marriage should look like and what it should be. And the only way it should be and what it should look like is what you and the other person create together. So if you have a marriage, if you have a marriage where it's acceptable for him to sleep with other women as long as he keep the money rolling, as long as he paying all the bills and you're okay. There are some dynamics in a marriage or a relationship that actually work out that way. But for people on the outside looking in, you don't know. So when you see something that seems weird to you, oh my God, she just with a man just to say she with a man. No, she's okay with that behavior. That's why she responded in that way. Every relationship, every marriage is not the same. It's not offensive to the person if they know the dynamics of their relationship. What you won't tolerate is for you. What somebody else will, that's for them. That's their agreement. So you can't judge everybody's marriage based on the typical way you think a marriage should be. And most of us have never seen what is considered a healthy marriage. So all we have is television, what we see on social media, television, reality TV of what we think a healthy, stable marriage should look like. And that really depends on the two people that are married. Let's continue.
At least you have a husband, so you're not gonna try to get him to change his nature. And to see that video of the young lady that paid Anwar $10,000 for dating tips, not even handing her a man, giving her a roster, she was on Hinge swiping for 178 dates to get to her fiance. So now she's trying to make her money back online right now by sharing content and view to help you. It's almost like a pyramid scheme to me. You pay one person, then you resell it. Isn't that like digital marketing? Whatever. A lot of women switch up when they have a man. They can go from being a girl's girl to my man, my man, my man, even if he sits there and plays games with her. At least she has something. My advice to you, stop fantasizing the ring and fantasize the lifestyle. No one is sitting here teaching people how to be in long-term, committed, healthy relationships. The reason why I've been saying more advice on men and women is because that's what y'all want to see. When I post videos on anything else, what gets me the most views, the most interaction is relationships. But no one really teaches you long-term marriage. Everyone is teaching you how to have standards, don't put up with crap. We're living in a generation where people are just telling you, walk away at any given moment, be alone. And there has to be a female loneliness epidemic, because how come all these men that used to bash women are now turning their content into, oh, this is how you should treat women? They're like just sitting there feeding y'all crap and y'all eating it up. You're paying a dating coach $10,000 to meet a man online. There is a female loneliness epidemic. Women are just not talking about it out loud. And y'all not fooling me. Y'all are lonely. And
yeah, I mean, she got a point there. Yeah. A lot of them are lonely. That's why they're always looking for a man. And this is why there's this idea that if you don't have a man, something's wrong with you, especially the older you get, because most women want a man. You want companionship. Why most people I'll say don't want to be lonely. We weren't designed for that. We weren't designed to be by ourselves. So there's always this inherent nature to want somebody. Even if you've gone a long time without anybody, you want somebody. This is why you hear so many women say, hey, when I play around in my 20s, but when I'm ready, now you're ready for a serious, you still want a serious committed relationships. The biggest 304s still want a serious committed relationship with a man. You would think with that lifestyle, you wouldn't even be worried about a committed relationship with a man. Why? Look what you're doing. Why would you want that? But they still do. They still want to be married. They still want to be treated like a lady. They still want to, have a man. Because that's just innate. It's something that's when we want to pair up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's why nobody believes that there are a bunch of women out here who are single, who wants to be single for the rest of their lives, and they're just so happy and in this dream state all by themselves, doing everything by themselves. I don't believe it either. I do think that there's a lonely, a female lonely epidemic thing happening, because these women, this is why people get depressed around the holidays. They start crying, I don't have anyone. We all want someone. Whether we know how to treat them or not is a whole different thing, or whether you know how to communicate or be in a relationship is an entirely different topic. But overall, most people want companionship because we're designed to do that. Let's continue. We're designed to mate. That's just what it is. Let's continue.
Y'all are paying an egregious amount for a mediocre man. That's it. That's my rant.
Y'all call me crazy, call me Gen Z, call me unhinged, but it's genuinely gotten to a point of loneliness that I have no one else to talk to but ChatGPT. I have no one else to talk to but ChatGPT. Like, I low-key think I need like a therapist type of friend vibe, but like, genuinely, like every time I have a problem that I don't really want to deal with in the moment, I just go to ChatGPT and ask that help, because who really can help me? And like sometimes she'd be eating with the advice, but other times it'd be like, girl, like why would you tell me to do that? Like why would you tell me to do that? But then there'll be other times like I'll put a text that someone sent me into ChatGPT to help me like analyze it, and like she'd be clocking tea, like she'd be reading that you would not like necessarily think about like while reading a text. Like she'll like pick up on the shade, she'll pick up on everything, bro. Like she's actually like, I don't know. My ChatGPT's a girl. I don't know about y'all, but she's becoming my new best friend, damn it. Hold on. No. It can't be a robot. Like, I just refuse to believe that. Like, no.
Where is my man at? Where is my man at? I hate to make my entire life about relationships, but where is my man at?
He's living his best life, staying away from entitled modern women such as yourself.
I don't get why I'm still single. I don't get it. I'm a catch. What is going on in my life where
Every time I hear a woman self-proclaim that she's a catch, she's usually single. I personally don't think that you should walk around calling yourself a catch. Let that be determined. Now, think highly of yourself for sure. Love yourself for sure. Love yourself. Think highly of yourself as you should. You should be confident in who you are. But going around telling people that you're a catch and you're a 10, that's kind of that's a little tacky, in my opinion. Because when you going around telling people that, it gives off that you're not really confident, nor do you really believe that you are a catch and that you're a 10 yourself. It's a little tacky to do. Let other people admire your beauty and admire things about you that they like. Don't go around telling everybody I should be married by now because I'm a goddamn catch and I'm a this and I'm that. Then that automatically is going to throw people off from even approaching you. Just saying. Let's continue.
I don't have a man? Or my standards too high? Do I box myself in a corner all the time? Like nowadays, men today want to be chased. What happened to masculinity? What happened to chivalry? What happened to men courting women? What happened to that? Back in the day, dating was so much easier and it was fun. Today's dating is hell. You give a guy your number and all of a sudden you don't hear from them until like 3 to 4 days later. What was the point of me giving you my number? If you're not going to text me, I don't get it. The talking doesn't go as far as the actual app. There are no, let me take you out to dinner. Let's go catch a movie. Let's go to a cafe and get to know each other. What's with all the endless text messages? What happened to men actually planning dates? What happened to it? I don't get it. How do you date in today's society? What are some of your red flags and your non-negotiables? I do not chase men. I don't do it. I did it once, will never do it again. No. Never again will I chase a guy. My biggest ick is a guy that can't hold the conversation. Now, I gotta talk the whole goddamn date. I hate it. I don't got time to be dating no guy that don't have no money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want some shala, but
Women get so upset when things that bother them don't bother men. They project so much to say things like, oh, well, why is it that you don't have this? And because we don't have this, so you're not going to be able to be okay with this. That's not how that works. Like, I heard this creator talk about how she was looking at content about the male loneliness epidemic, and she was like, I don't know if that's a thing or not. I can't speak to men, but I do know that there is a female loneliness epidemic. And even if there was a male loneliness epidemic, men are far better suited to deal with that than women are. And I say this all the time. I say, first of all, the male loneliness epidemic, even if it was a thing, women would still be suffering way more than we would, because there are far more women than there are men, especially in this country, in America. So if we're lonely, what are y'all? Y'all are already lonely without there being a loneliness epidemic, because there's just 3.4 million more of y'all than it is us. So even if every man got a girl, there'd still be 3 million women that wouldn't have a man. So how can you project a loneliness epidemic onto men when y'all are living through it and been living through it for decades? That's one thing. Secondly, y'all are so upset because the things that bother y'all don't bother us. You ever hear a woman be like, oh, he only has one friend, he must feel like this. Oh, he only has this thing, he must feel like this. Like, that doesn't bother men. That bothers you guys. And you want to project your insecurities, you want to project the things that bother you onto men that don't care about those things. That's why men are able to get through so much and accomplish so much, because things don't bother us like they bother you. Y'all are bothered by every single thing and wonder why y'all can't get through life well. Wonder why y'all can't find any peace or contentment in your life. It's because everything that happens bothers y'all. I told my girl this the other day, I said, you have to stop letting things get to you, because I then have to become responsible for making you feel better about the things that got to you that had nothing to do with me.
You know what? I have to say, he is absolutely right. You know, this is something that we experience as women. There are lots of things that bother me that does not bother my husband. And then sometimes I do get mad, like, what? That don't bother you? It should. No, they're just not bothered by the things that we're bothered by. And we want them to be so desperately. And then we get mad because they're not responding to the way we want them to respond. No, they're not. We're not the same. You know, women, that's why I say women are the ones who have to learn how to reel themselves in and learn how to, you know, just think a little bit differently, because I think we are the problems for the most part. And it's never been addressed because everything is pushed onto the man. A lot of these men walking around, they be comfortable with the simplest things. They don't need they don't have a problem with everything, every little thing. We're the ones who are always thinking and feeling and having issues and going back and forth. It's us. But I wish more women would be accountable to these things, because it can be fixed. It's not something that you just turn into a major issue, you know, and this is what we like to do. We like to turn everything into major issues and complain about every damn thing. And I'm pretty sure men get tired of that. This is why men don't want no woman and complaining about everything. They want peace, because they've dealt with these types of women for a long time, and now they're just tired of it. They want some peace and quiet. They don't want to hear you yapping about every little thing and making that, because that's in our nature. That's what we do a lot of times. Maybe it's not every single woman, but we all have the potential to be that way. And this is why I say women have to learn how to like, you know, do things a little bit differently to be better in relationships. We always talk about the men need to do this and men don't. We never talk about what the women do and how they need to change. Oh, just let a woman just be a woman. No, we can't. Now, if you want to be by yourself and let that be, okay, cool. But if you want a husband or you want a relationship with a man, you got to learn some new ways, some new tactics, because the ones that you've adopted are just not it. There's nothing wrong with learning new ways to do things and to behave, and, you know what I mean, changing your mindset and all of that kind of stuff to be better for yourself plus somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not somebody trying to change you. It's you changing for the better. If we want men to do it, we got to do it too. So yeah, I think a lot of times women think that men should move and respond the way we do. And that's just not, but y'all want masculine men. Y'all say y'all want masculine men. I don't know. Because if you want men to respond the way you do, that wouldn't be a masculine man. Let's continue.
They get to me through you. You're a transition, a throughway of problems that I wouldn't even deal with if I wasn't with you. And that's what women are. Women are added liabilities because they cannot let things go and not let things bother them. So instead of them dealing with stuff or them letting it go, they let it bother them, then they take it to the man and try to tell the man that it should bother them too, when it doesn't. That's why so many men are peaceful when they're alone. They're not pressed. Well, we like to have somebody that, you know, we love and can love on and be connected to and have a good time with, absolutely. But at the expense of what? That's the thing you don't think about. Like, women will have certain things at the expense of things that are important to them and then cry about that later. They will choose to have something that comes with a lot of drama, and then when the drama comes with it, they'll cry about the drama as if they didn't choose that drama that came with that thing that they wanted. And that's the issue. Y'all project your own issues onto men, and when those things don't bother men, y'all get upset at that too. because y'all want us to be as uncomfortable and as miserable as you are, and we won't. The male loneliness epidemic is not a real thing, but the single female loneliness epidemic is very much a real thing, because y'all won't stop being miserable enough to not be single. Everything y'all want is against what y'all need and causes y'all to be miserable, because you can't just pick something that's good for you. You got to have it all or nothing at all, and that's why you have nothing.
Listen, absolutely the truth. And the truth hurts sometimes, but it's true. You know, you pick the wrong guys and you want to try to change those guys into what you think they should be. You want them to level up. When they don't, you piss them mad at every man. So that's why I say it's a lot that women have not been doing, and they don't feel that they have to, because all of the pressure is always placed on men to change and level up and grow and do this for a woman, but it's never been taught what women should do for men. And so they're mad, and he's absolutely right. They're projecting their own loneliness onto the man. Men are out here peacefully. They know that, hey, they're more peaceful by themselves. They may want somebody, like you said, but they know that their peace is much better. They're more happier and peaceful in that way than dealing with a woman who's complaining and nagging and always on his back. I get it. But women, on the other hand, you're not happy with that, and you want to see men miserable because you know that you are. It's always a projection. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think he's telling the truth? Do you think that there are more lonely women out here than men? Let me know in the comments below. Chime in. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Y'all know what it is. Let's continue the conversation. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Deedee's reactions. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's Deedee's reactions. It's Deedee's reactions. Deedee's reactions. Later.